And we're on. Thank you, everybody. Welcome again for another episode of It Is What It Is podcast. I am Maverick Wolf. This has been my daddy, your host. And tonight we have two special guests. We got I Am Elvis Tattoos, my friend Elvis. And I
Thank you,
got
thank you.
the real quick, my man.
Okay,
Here.
quick, yeah,
Welcome
yeah,
you guys for this awesome episode.
No
yes,
problem, no
indeed.
problem. Thanks for having me.
Lessons.
It is. So, quick, I know you were in a recent activity with your videos and your production studio stuff.
Yes, indeed.
That's one of the things I want to talk about. Elvis, you doing a giveaway on hand tattoos and some other stuff that you got going on. Let's start
Yeah.
with you. Where did Elvis that I Am Elvis tattoos come from, and how long have you been doing tattoos for?
So where did the name come from, or where did I come from?
Where do you come from? Like,
Okay. So I'm born and raised in Southern California. I've been an artist my whole life, and the only reason I kind of stumbled into tattooing was because I wanted to learn so I could tattoo myself. Once I found out the tattoos hurt, I was like, all right, this is not a good idea. But it was my friends and family, mostly my friends, that kept me going, and from there, it kind of just grew into something that I could make some income off of, and then eventually I was making more tattooing on the weekends than I was at my part-time job or my full-time job. I mean, and I was like, all right, I'm done with that job, man. And then I focused on tattooing, and 15 years later, I'm here traveling, doing tattoos all over the country, uh, winning awards. This is my bread and butter. And yeah, short story, but that's basically it. Yeah.
Nice.
Short story, but that's basically.
that's really good, really good. So, quick, tell us a little bit about your battle lately and what you got into, like with your music.
Well, yeah. Well, firstly, for those who may not know, my name is K Quick, and I'm from Maryland. Um, I wear many hats. Of course, I'm a international recording artist. I'm a videographer. I'm a published photographer. Um, uh, writer, poet, all that kind of good stuff. And yeah, as far as what I have been doing lately, um, I recently just did. I just shot a video with Lazy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony. That was a very big for me because that Bone Thugs are my favorite rappers. Is one of my idols, and the fact that I got to do a record and a video with one of them, that's a big check mark for me. You know what I mean? So one down, five members to go. So yeah, so that's one of five.
Nice.
So yeah, definitely. And right now I'm just gearing up for the next releases. I have a whole bunch of projects and music coming out. I star in a horror film that's supposed to come out between early fall, late summer this year. So there's a whole bunch of things that I have going on. Some I gotta contractually keep silent about, but we will go. But yeah, I can. It's gonna be a very jam packed year. That's it. I can definitely
Okay.
say.
So now I got a question since you said horror film. Are you one of those in the horror film that run away from the dude, or you stand up and you're like, come on, bring it?
No, I'm actually the one bringing the horror.
Oh, so you're the bad guy now.
I am the Freddy Krueger. I'm the Jason. I am the Candyman of this movie.
Ooh-wee, Candyman.
Yeah,
Anyway, ooh,
definitely.
that's a rough one. That's one of that brings memories back into like my lifestyle.
I like that
Yes,
one.
indeed. So yeah, yes indeed. So and granted, I'm an avid horror film fan personally. So and that's always, and granted, that's another thing I love. I love acting as well, dramatic acting. I'm funny, so I do comedic stuff too. But when it comes to the traumatic stuff, I always wanted to do a horror picture. And just growing up watching Candyman, all these figures. I was like, yo, I need to be one of them. One time, just let me be one of them. And lo and behold, you can add me to the fold. You can add me to that.
Well, how you doing? Jules is on the Twitch. She says hello, quick.
Hey, Joe.
Elvis. We got
Jules,
Panda,
what's up?
which is one of our, which is our moderator for the YouTube channel. And thank you very much for joining us once more. And got a question for you, Elvis. When you're doing tattoos, what do you recommend for like people that are trying to get into the lifestyle? Like, should they go with pork skin with some, which I've seen some people do it, or they go for the fake skin and try to like work the way through it?
I think it depends on like what level you're at. I would definitely say do practice skin, like the fake skin, just to get familiar and comfortable with the machine and like hand techniques, because that's something you got to master before you can master skin. Because once you get into skin, that's like a whole nother list of things you have to understand. So definitely understand the techniques, the hand motions, the way the machine works, and then I've never worked on pig skin or chicken skin or anything like that. What I have done is worked on like grapefruits,
Okay.
because the needle goes in very easily. It's not the same as skin. Even pig skin to human skin, there's still a difference. You know, the living skin reacts to the needle. So, but definitely starting out fake skin, the silicone or rubber, whatever it's made of. Definitely recommend doing that first.
Okay. So, in what areas does the tattoos like bother the most, or people should like think about it twice before they do it?
From my experience, my legs, the legs were probably the worst pain. For tattoos, yeah, yeah. Even compared to my head, the top of my head was not as bad as my legs, and I think there's more nerves, more nerve endings on the legs, because even when I tattoo other people, they can't help but twitch, like their leg like will start kicking in the middle of tattooing. So, um, definitely the legs, like the behind the knee, those areas in the armpits, the torso, the ribs,
Yeah, somebody just
yeah,
That's why I
and the
was
feet,
thinking about
and the
that.
feet.
Now, I got a question for you. One of the our moderator says, "Are there any tattoos that you won't do?"
As far as like design or placement, I guess for design, nothing like racial, nothing that's out of my belief or you know morals, I guess.
Okay.
And then as far as placement, nothing below the belt. You know, unless you're willing to pay a hefty handling fee.
Now, this is my personal question. I'm thinking about right here, this arm like this. Uh, I got the handprints of my kids that I
Okay.
want to do. So, do you recommend it to be here or?
It depends how many and if there's anything else you want to incorporate with them. Because a lot of times people will get like a handprint with something else that reminds them of their kid or kids. If they want to incorporate a name, birthdays, whatever. For the most part, when I do things like that, where it's like a dedication to their loved ones, it's like the inner forearm. Like for example, like right here,
Right
I
here?
have my daughter's portrait, and because it's kind of like the biggest, flattest area on the forearm, and also the inner arm doesn't get hit by the sun as much, so the
Mhm.
skin's a little bit finer, so it holds a little bit more detail. And then the outside, it's a little bit rougher because you're constantly leaning on it. You know, you're leaning on the tables or whatever. You know, so it just depends on what you want to add to it besides the handprints.
Yeah, because like I was gonna get one of them like holding here, and the other one just like over crossing, like that. Like if they were like interlocking with my wrist, both of them.
Okay,
Because I got two kids, so one hand from one for the other, and probably put like
got you.
the initials of their name.
Okay, and just the print, not like their make it not to make it look like it's a 3D hand holding your arm.
Yeah, it's like basically
Like they
Like
left a
their
print
hand-
on your hand.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean you could do something like that. That'd be cool. I actually tattooed this.
Wanted to do tattoos. I'm like, hell yeah. I said that'd be cool. One, I can get them for free.
You know, I've been in the industry for about 15 years, and I've seen the accept and a lot of freedom as far as time goes. You know, take your schedule, tattoo when you. I mean, depending on if you own a shop or if you work for somebody, that could be the difference. But for the most part, it's been a huge blessing for me.
Okay, so I got another question. I'm not gonna do the free consultation thing like Maverick here. But
man, I'm just asking questions.
That's all good. It's all good.
I'm messing. You know, I'm messing with you.
Yeah, I know.
So like, when you guys have to do a tattoo that takes that's, let's just say, rather big. So it goes from like shoulder down to elbow, and it's got 2, maybe 3 colors. Yes, I'm looking at the one I want to get. Do you normally do those like over time? You do like maybe outline black or whatever for one visit, and then come back and do some of it. And how many visits would something like that take?
So the size isn't as important as the detail. So I can do a whole like from shoulder to elbow tattoo with little detail and finish it in less than a day. But if there's a lot of detail, a lot of intricate inner works, that could take multiple sessions. The longest I've done on one half sleeve is 3 sessions. But for the most part, I could do it all in one
Okay.
session, and we would do all the black tones, the line work first, and then the colors, from brightest to darkest, or from darkest to brightest, because you can also. So, for example, if I tattooed yellow on your skin and then I tattooed blue and then I wiped the blue, I could stain the yellow that's already in your skin.
Hmm.
So you got to be strategic with it.
Okay.
But yeah, multiple sessions for the most part, generally speaking.
Any questions, quick? I see you there, like thinking really hard.
Well, no, I'm not. No, he got me thinking of my next tattoo.
Nice.
I like that Jesus one. That one really was like, that was nice. That was,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's on my Instagram somewhere. I did it maybe like 4 years ago, but that one's definitely stayed in my memory.
Yeah, that one's got me in the head. It's like, okay, how can I do something like that with my 2 kids? Where because see, my daughter once, she wanted a fox on her leg, on her hip, upper thigh area.
Mhm.
She wanted her zodiac symbol, and she wanted one that I drew. So I drew her zodiac symbol. I said, there, it takes 2 of them out the way. And she said,
Nice.
okay, well, I still want 3. So the third one is, and she wanted me to write her something. And she wanted it tattooed on her in my handwriting. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh no, it's meaningful.
So
You
I
know?
thought that was pretty touching. And I'm like, so now I'm like debating what there's 2 there's one that I want, and it's sitting over here. It's a blue dragon. I want my kids to do the same thing. Write something to me, and then, like you said, just have it,
Where you
right
can
here.
see it every day.
Yeah, so I can look at it every day.
That's real. That's real.
Yeah, that's awesome. A lot of people get that after their loved one passes away. Like they'll find a note from that they wrote a long time ago, and they'll say, "Can you do their signature?" Or maybe there was a message saying like, "Oh, I love you" or something. And those are very impactful. And for her to want to do something like that while you're still living, is even more impactful. Um, I've had people talk about getting their parents' portraits when they pass away, and one of my clients said that her father actually said, "Why don't you get my portrait now so that way I can see it instead of waiting till I die and then getting it?" I would love to see that portrait tattooed. And I was like, "You make a good point." Yeah, because people actually like reserve areas like, "Oh, this is for my grandma when she passes away." That was a little dark to see it that way, you know.
Yeah, it's like a cemetery plot right here.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, Grandpa, I'll save you the spot for $20.
That's a shame.
You know.
Got a question. What's the funniest tattoo?
The funniest tattoo? The funniest tattoo I ever did was actually at my first tattoo convention. It was called the Ink Life Tour. It was in I forget what city, but it was in Texas. And this dude, one of the artists that traveled with us, he was like, "Hey, tattoo Ubi." I think that was what it was called. It was a character. And I was like, "What the hell's an Ubi?" And he showed me a picture, and it was literally a hand with two eyeballs on it. Like it was a hand like that with two eyeballs on it. And I was like, "Okay."
I think it's the one from Beetlejuice. That.
Yeah, something like that. And I tattooed it on him, and he was like, "I'm gonna enter into the tattoo contest." And they actually had a category for most unusual, and I won first place for that tattoo. And I actually won awards at like the following conventions after that because it was such a unique, like weird tattoo, and I did it like really realistic, so you can see like the wrinkles in the hand and the knuckles, and it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But that was the funniest one I think I've ever done.
Somebody just asked, can you do the audio tattoos?
Yeah. So I haven't done one. One of the artists at the shop that I'm at has done one, and it actually works. My concern and question is, as the skin ages and those audio peaks change with your body, does the voice change? Does the tone change? Does the message change? You know, I don't know. I have never done one. Someone got one at the shop and it worked. It was their like daughter that passed away. Her voice.
How does that work?
There's like an app that you download, and you can scan the audio file or the audio like peaks, and it'll play the message on your phone. Yeah, it's a trip.
Warranty for that.
So over time,
I get a warranty.
So over time, your skin wrinkles and all that stuff. Little girl's voice can sound like James Earl Jones.
Yeah, and that's a question I have. Like, does that happen? You know, does the message change? I don't know. Very interesting to try out. You know, maybe one of you guys will let me do that, and then we'll come back in 10 years and play it. That'd be funny. That'd be cool to see.
That's hilarious.
Those are like good things to know about certain tattoos and certain techniques to do about them.
Yeah.
Quick, I got a question for you. When it comes to audio and video recording, best softwares to do or how?
You said what software?
If you're a newbie like me that don't know jack about it, how can I get into that world?
Well,
don't judge me.
Well, as far as audio, like if you want to do audio work or if you want to do music in particular, there's several options. That's the good thing about getting into audio engineering. You have a plethora of options. It's all preference, really. Me personally, right now in my studio. I'm in my studio now. I use Pro Tools. You know, that's my DAW or digital audio workspace as they call it. That's my DAW of choice. But I've also used Mixcraft, which is very good. It's basically like Pro Tools, only it's more affordable. You know, it doesn't hit your pockets as hard. But Mixcraft is very, very good. I've recommended that, and people have done wonders and prosper with it. Studio One is good. A lot of people are using Reaper right now. So Reaper is a very good one. And there's another one. There's several. There's like Cubase and there's like a few others out there. But the good thing about audio engineering, you know, you have unlimited options. You have options that are very good all the way around. And as far as, you know, filmography and videography and all that good stuff, as far as software goes, I use Final Cut Pro. You know, to me, that's a very good one to use. Is once you take the courses and so on and so on. Because granted, they're the whole course that usually you have to pay for. They're on YouTube. You can just look it up on YouTube, and everything is right there for you, like an hour-long class. You can literally watch that all the way through, and boom, you know how to do all the basics. So basically, Final Cut Pro is my personal preference, you know, and there's also Adobe Premiere. Now, Adobe Premiere, I'm just starting to, learn the tricks of the trade. It's a lot more complex than Final Cut, I will say. You're gonna want to pull your hair out your first few times using it. It's a very, very, very complex software. For example, like where there's presets and like where there's like say if you just want to do there's an effect called the Ken Burns where if you put a picture in Final Cut, you just set the Ken Burns in there. It's like it's a preset. It's basically a preset that's already in there. All you got to do is set it up and boom, Ken Burns. But in Adobe Premiere, you literally have to scale it like frame by frame, and like you gotta literally create the effect yourself. That's what I mean. That you can do it. Everything you do in Final Cut, you can do in Adobe Premiere. It's everything
more
is
in depth.
broken. It's very in depth. Everything is literally broken down. There's broken down. So but it's doable. I'm gonna master me. I just made it a choice to learn how to master both. If I have a go-to, it's gonna be for me Final Cut. That's my personal preference.
Okay. Now, am I seeing a platinum disc back there, or is it?
Oh, right there.
What we got going on, bro?
That one is actually a spot. That's a RIAA certification. That's for 500,000 streams, and that one is from Spotify, and RIAA certified Spotify 500,000 streams, and that one is from the MSA, and that's for 1 million streams. I actually have another RIAA plaque coming soon for 1 million and all that good stuff. It's already being shipped to me. I'll get these notifications. So yeah, these are just like all my accomplishments thus far and so on and so forth. So
nice.
So yeah,
Congrats, man. Congrats. That's awesome.
Yeah. Appreciate you.
Congratulations, bro.
Yeah. What kind of style of music do you create?
Well, like at heart, I'm a hip hop baby. Like I'm a lyricist. I'm a rapper, but at the same time, I'm a singer too. I was actually singing before I was rapping. I was singing before I was rapping. So I just basically just merged the two together. So if you get a project from K Quick, you're gonna get melodies as well as a lot of complex bar heavy lyricism. You get what I mean? And as far as the style of music, I can honestly say I kind of have I have my own distinct style, and my style is I really don't have a sound. And what I mean by that is I grew up listening to all genres of music, and so I literally do everything. Like on this matter of fact, on my my latest project, Asylum, I have, of course, pure hip hop songs on there. I have like R&B vibes on there. I have rock songs on there. There's like I have like a whole gumbo of different genres put together. It's
Nice.
literally based on how I'm feeling at the time, what inspires me at the time.
Got you.
You get
Yeah,
what I
man, and I've been seeing or hearing just like the fusion of styles that some producers make, where they get like maybe like a Latin vibe and throw it into like a trap jar, and they shake it up and it creates this like whole new fusion, and I feel like you can do that with almost any style. You can like add some hip hop trap flavor to it.
Very innovative things. I love trying to do things that I personally haven't heard done before. Like a matter of fact, me and my homeboy from the Ukraine, super producer D Explode, me and him have an EP dropping in June called People of the World, and literally it's something different than what people are used to hearing from me, because we literally created our own style from scratch from the bottom up. So like literally we took
Nice.
what I do, we took what he does, we fused that together, and then we took different like styles from his culture because like he's on like the other side of the world. So we got his culture over there, what he's inspired by, plus what I'm inspired by, and we fuse that together to create something completely different. Like it's not even just
Awesome.
it's not even and some of the songs aren't even just fully lyric based. There's songs where it's like instrumental, but I bring in vocal accompaniment to the instruments and so on and
Okay.
so forth. It's a whole there's like jazz records on there. It's just a whole bunch of stuff we had. And that's the greatest thing about art. And I'm pretty sure Elvis, you can relate because you probably feel the same way when you're doing different types of tattoos. This when it comes to art, it's great when you can just have fun, and just try
Yeah.
different stuff, So and for real, that's the most liberating thing when you know you're doing something innovative. You're basically paving your own lane because on that particular project, I personally have not seen anybody take the risks that we're taking as far as composing music and putting things together. So it's all about just
Yeah.
taking risk and just seeing what happens. You know what I
I
mean?
like that. I like that. And
So,
you know, that kind of brought up a thought. As you as an artist in your craft, have you ever heard the beat or heard the music and you're like, I think if I try this, it could work. Like
Yes.
it's almost like you stay up at night thinking of a technique, and I'm like, I gotta do this now or I can't sleep, and then you do it and you see that it actually works the way you imagined it. And it just,
Uh,
that's the creative genius, man.
it is, and it's funny how those things that happens to me quite frequently. And I've actually had times when, actually, matter of fact, there's a song on my project Asylum called "New Kid." That the way that song came about, I literally had a dream about it. I had a
That's
dream
that's
that the
dope.
song. I had a dream that the song was playing. I had a dream about the melody and the cadence that I was singing in, all that. The only thing that was unclear in the dream was the actual words I was saying. But I remember tidbits of parts and so on and so forth. But the cadence, the melody, the flow, all that, like the meat of everything, I remember. So as soon as I
Yeah.
woke up and it was fresh in my head, I keep my phone like next to me, like on my dresser. I took that joint. I went to because I got a voice recorder in my phone. I literally recorded everything I remembered in my
Nice. You
phone.
start like humming it into the phone,
Yeah,
into the voice
yeah,
memos.
yeah. Basically, I was humming it and saying and singing the melody and saying everything that I remembered from the dream while it was fresh in my head, so I didn't forget it. Because like I'm
That's
halfway
awesome.
asleep, waking up, remembering this. Like I gotta get this down. so,
That's
so
awesome, bro. That's cool, man. And I don't know if you ever heard the story of I forget what song it was, but Michael Jackson had a
mhm.
similar experience where he was thinking of a song and he wanted to get into the studio, and whoever was running the studio, they're like, let's do it another day. And he's like, no, we need to do it now or else Prince is gonna do it. And what he was talking about was, or what he understood is that, our thoughts are on a frequency, right? So
Right.
maybe you picked up that frequency in your dream and were able to catch it, put it onto your phone as a memo to create it later on. Because I'm
Yeah.
sure if you've thought of an idea, an invention maybe, and you don't do anything with it, but then like a year later you see someone else did it
Mm-hmm.
exactly what you were thinking.
yep.
Yeah, it's because you're putting it out into a frequency that all of us can pick up. So yeah, when
Yeah.
that happens, man, that's an opportunity to snatch that and make something.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
and the thing is, a lot of ideas and a lot of golden opportunities go astray because a lot of people things happen for a reason. So when stuff just hits you, no matter when it hits you, really, there's the chorus on there, and it's just him humming the cadence, like the verse,
Oh,
the
wow.
lyrics to the verse weren't there. He just was on there like like that's how he got
So
the idea.
they put his voice memo onto that, right? Basically,
Yeah,
like if you were to release that
Nice.
song, right, or you did release it, you said, and then 10 years from now you do the same thing, but it's you doing the beats.
pretty
That's
much.
that's dope. That's
It
dope,
is.
bro.
It's
You better
very
save
dope.
that.
And
Save that.
yeah, it's dope because you get to see you get to see the root of the genius. You
Yep.
literally get to see the membrane of where the masterpiece is actually cultivated. You feel me?
Yeah.
So to see something like that coming from a figure such as him, or coming from somebody such as Prince or any of the greats whatsoever, that's something that is cherishable, like great. So, hey,
Yeah, man. For real.
I got a
That's
question. Like,
awesome.
what kind of like music fusion is or has been the hardest, or you consider to be the hardest when it comes to doing fuse?
the hardest for me, I don't know. I can't really say I've ran into a situation where fusing two genres was hard, at least not for me, because it's all about it's all about making something different. We all it's not necessarily because when you get the initial idea of what if I took this and put it together with this, you don't really know how it's going to turn out until you just shoot your shot with it. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And once you actually start putting it together, that's when you really get the idea of how you feel it's supposed to sound. You get what I mean? Because like literally, you're taking two things that are existing, and you're attempting to build something brand new out of it. So it's not really that it's hard. It's actually knowing where to start. Really, it's really like knowing where to
Yeah.
start. But once you actually put the first couple of pieces together, you're pretty much going from there. It's like once I get started, it's like, all right, I might be on to something. Some things may not work. All right, I need to take this out. Let me try to put this there. All right, that sounds good. This sounds good over here. It's like you're putting together a puzzle, a very complex puzzle. So as far as which one is harder, that's subjective. It depends on the person. It really depends on the person,
Yeah.
how much of a perfectionist you are. Because once you start, that's when you start putting a vision in your head. You either have a vision of how it's supposed to sound beforehand, or the vision is coming alive as you're doing it. But once the hardest part is literally just making sure, basically just bringing that vision to life. You know,
Okay.
Yeah.
you
And then
can you
based
can
off of your experience, I'm sure you can kind of you kind of already know what would sound good together
hmm
because you've probably dabbled with so many different things. You already know, like, okay, this is here, but I know that that's probably not going to work. Let me try this first. And
yeah,
that's kind of how it is with tattooing. There's someone wants a concept, and I'm designing it, and I'm like, okay, I already know that these two things are going to clash together, so let me throw something in between to do something different. And then once the design is up, I'm like, okay, that looks way better. So I feel like you're basically painting with audio.
that's exactly what it is. And there's been some instances where two things or two sounds that have no business being next to each other or on top of each other or what have you, when you put them together, it sounds like the most mind-blowing thing you've ever heard. Like, how
Yeah,
did this work? I'm not even, and at that point, you don't even question it. Just know it worked.
yeah.
But,
You're just like, let me save this. Let me make sure I save all this.
literally,
I got one I'd like to
That's
hear.
awesome.
If you know of any, I'd like to hear it. I'm not trying to get religious or anything, but I like to hear like a gospel and lyricist. Like a rapping gospel, if that's even the proper way to say it. Like a
I've
song
done,
like "On Eagle's Wings" or something like that.
yeah. Well, I've done gospel type songs before. That's a man. I have a song called Revelation that I have a gospel singer. Her name is the Vanessa Long. Um, I wrote this chorus, and I was trying to find the right singer for it. And granted, she's like a second mother to me. She actually watched me grow up, and she came in here and in one take nailed it. Like, and the way this woman can sing, it will shake the ceiling. Like I literally was in this studio in tears watching her sing. Like that's how powerful her voice is. But yeah, I definitely have. That's more so of a gospel song that I actually dedicated to my grandfather. Who passed not long, like literally not too long before the album was released. So I actually dedicated that particular song to him. So and also if you want to listen to a gospel rapper who's like very very good, is there's this dude named Lecrae. His name is Lecrae, and he's fire. He's fire. He's a incredible lyricist, and he's definitely a true gentleman of faith. So I think that would be the first place that I think you should look. I definitely recommend it.
Hey, quick, I got a question for you from one of our uh, followers. It says, do you? It's about microphones. Do you have any preferences about which brand?
I love MXL microphones. Any microphone that's made by MXL is a fantastic microphone. That's the brand that I will personally recommend to anybody. So MXL.
Okay, okay. And for you, Elvis, when it comes like, let's say, most of the guys, a lot of people go for cover ups.
Mhm.
Does the area or how the cover up is, does it affect where, like, let's say if the original tattoo was in a certain area, but you need a cover up, how do you guys go around it?
That's a good question. So I actually get contacted about cover-ups pretty often, and two of the biggest things that I ask is how big is it and how old is it? So usually for me personally, my rule of thumb is if it's over 10 years old, I can cover it pretty easily. Um, the size of it will also dictate what I can do, you know. And then usually I'll have them come in so I can take a look at what it is. A lot of times it's like names or even sometimes it's been tribal. But as long as it's old enough, you can usually tell it's like faded, it's gotten light. And the inks nowadays have gotten better that they're easier to saturate. And then also if the tattoo was done by somebody who didn't really know how to tattoo and there's scar tissue, that is you cannot cover it. You're gonna see that tattoo, that old tattoo come through because the scar tissue is always thicker than the rest of the skin, you know. And then when you tattoo over it, it flares up and it thickens even more. So sometimes if the tattoo's really scarred, I tell them like you're still gonna see this. We can camouflage it. Sometimes I'll try to find a way to where I don't actually cover it. So for example, like my hand is the old tattoo, right? So maybe I turn it into feathers or something instead of trying to get rid of it. I make these into feathers into like a headdress or something. So that way I'm not doing more damage to the skin.
Okay.
I'm kind of using the old tattoo and just adding some stuff around it to camouflage it and make it look like it's part of the new tattoo. And a lot of the times you can't even tell. But that's come from a lot of experience doing cover ups.
One of our subscribers says, "Is has there ever been a tattoo that touched you, like that was really meaningful to you doing it while you
Um, I think there's not just one. I feel like whenever somebody gets a tattoo of a memorial, especially when it's a parent that gets like a portrait of their child, those are a little bit more emotional because even while they're getting it, they're kind of revisiting whatever situation happened. Like for example, this lady I tattooed in Texas, both of her kids went to a sleepover. The house caught fire, and they passed away from smoke inhalation. And when I did her tattoo, I did a portrait of both of them on her arm. And as she was telling the story, you know, she was getting choked up, I was getting choked up, and yeah, just those type of tattoos, you know, because it helps bring closure to people, but they kind of have to revisit that to kind of let it go, you know. So those tattoos
okay.
are touching. Yeah.
Well, I want to take a moment to say happy birthday to everybody in the month of April that we got going on.
Yep.
Our team.
What sign is April?
Well, it depends on which part of April you were born. So,
Yeah, that's true. All right,
I
fine.
think Aries and something else.
you know, Aries, and and not quick, of course. But yeah, but but for everybody that knows, and for you guys, we like to do every month when we're having a podcast, we give a birthday shout out to everybody out there. But if your month is in May, so we'll put everybody during the podcast in May, give them a shout out in the beginning and halfway during it, so we can acknowledge people like with you guys that we brought you guys on the podcast. This is our way of saying thank you for you guys' collaboration on the communities and what the work you guys do out there. And me and Pinoy, we do model building, and I'm a newbie next to him, so I still got much to learn. I'm an idiot about it, but nah.
You're not a
Hey,
newbie. You just suck.
hey, hey,
You
I'm
gotta
not
keep that
doing.
mindset though. Keep that mindset like you suck, and then you're just gonna get better and better because you're
That's
never
it.
gonna be
That's
satisfied
true.
with your skill level.
But
That's
you
right.
got to realize something. I'm not dealing with a head of the bond that don't want to fit.
Why you gotta go there?
Hey, but that's okay. I had a model kid that decided to just give up on me, destroyed it completely. Like it broke, put glue on it, it just melted, and it flew from one point to another.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's you're gonna have to do that. We have to take that video and put it to that. Oh God, what movie was that? John Travolta, Vince Vaughn, and there's actually the scene with Vince Vaughn was on fire. And
Oh, that's
Oh yeah,
be
yeah,
cool.
yeah. No.
Be cool.
be cool. Yeah, where I
Uh,
had that audio in it, so every time and him throwing the.
But the question I asked earlier about the cover ups, because I got a tattoo. I got it back in 2006.
Okay.
The tattoo artist was tattooing. Decided, he goes, "Oh, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette." Had an argument with his wife. Broke his wrist. Continued tattooing. His wrist
Wait,
got
like
swollen.
he fought his wife?
No, he was arguing and threw a punch and he hit the wall,
Oh,
and
damn.
You
and,
just gotta
and he
do it.
messed up his hand. So he continued tattooing, and the owner of the shop
Dang.
was like, "What you do to your hand?" He goes like, "Oh, I just had this argument." So when the owner of the shop looked at the tattoo the way it was going, he goes, "What are you doing?" And like, so the tattoo is not really good looking, and
Yeah.
I do want to get it covered up because it has really meaning for me. It's my firstborn was born in September 7, 2005. Died September 7, 2005, 30 minutes after birth.
Mhm.
Oh
So
man,
I made
that's terrible.
I made a drawing of my what I consider to be my archangel Michael, carrying him in his arms like if they were going to heaven. So the guy
Wow.
just destroyed the tattoo, and I'm like,
Mm.
now it's
Wow.
there. I haven't been able to do it. I'm like, I'm gonna get laser remove or whatever. I'm thinking about it. Everybody's like, just get a cover up. Just give her a cover up. I'm like, I don't know, people.
Yeah. I mean, I can take a look at it and let you know if it's. I mean, if the proportions, like if it's warped, you might have to do some sort of cover up. But if it just looks like the ink is falling out, the lines are not consistent, then it could probably just be salvaged, reworked into what it was supposed to be originally.
Mhm.
But if he warped it or misplaced lines or whatever, it may just need to be covered up, or doing just a couple sessions of laser removal to lighten it up enough
Yeah.
where you can cover it easier. Yeah,
Okay.
you don't have to completely get rid of it, just lighten it up enough.
Okay, since we're doing the consultation here, in regards to covering up, the one that I'm wanting to get is the dragon I'm wanting to get is actually gonna. I want to try and cover up one that was acquired under duress, Or was that the name of the liquor? No, that wasn't it. It was graduation. My brother, who I just met like
Se supone que esté allá.
probably a few months earlier. Never met my brother and sister, or that side of the family.
Wow.
So he was like, "I'm gonna take you to," because I lived in Fort Walton at the time. When we go to Mobile, where they live, we're gonna party all the way down. So we hit every beach house and had fun. But the first night, for the first hotel we stayed at, I'm gonna get we got into some scuffle with one of the cops, and he's like, "Oh, you're a badass," blah blah blah, and I'm like, "No, I just didn't really care at the time." He gets this pencil, sewing needle, emery thread, and Indian ink, and just starts jabbing me like tap tap tap, like old school, tapping,
Yeah.
tapping.
That's
the word.
good.
Yeah,
That's tribal style right there.
yeah. I'm like, look, dude, we ain't in the Philippines anymore, man. You can actually get a machine to do this.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So it's a tattoo like that. It is faded a little bit. It's not as dark as it used to be, and so it's like, would that lead? I mean, this was 1990. So it's quite a long time ago. So I don't think there would be any scarring tissue. But would a tattoo of that nature leave something that would be difficult?
I was 10 years old, son. Jesus.
Yeah, it would just depend on, if you say there's no scar tissue and it's that old.
Yeah, I'm not showing it on the stream.
No, they want me to show my. They want me to show my tattoo. I'm not showing it.
I'm gonna tell you this. That's one thing that I always thought was dope about like Samoan culture, because all their tattoos are fire, yo. All of their tattoos are like.
I mean,
I've never seen a bad tattoo from them.
I like this. I like the style of the Samoan tattoos or the old Japanese and Chinese tattoos.
I like the style, but I'm not gonna sit there and get hammered on like that. I mean, that's that's
because if you're seeing the Rock, because he's half Samoan, because his piece goes around his chest all the way up his shoulder and down his arm. He said that his entire piece took about 36 hours total to do
of that tapping.
He did.
They did it traditionally.
Yeah, he did it traditionally. Because I wouldn't be surprised if he actually went, to the islands and got it done. So.
Yeah, no, that style and that way of doing it takes a long time. I would like to get a small one, just to have it, But for the amount of time that those take, I don't know if I could sit for that long.
Yeah, I don't know if he did it all in one session, but he said like total, that's how long it took. Hear, Carl, I'm sure you can attest to it. It's probably, from what I've seen, because I've seen a documentary where people get it done, it looks like that is the more painful way of getting your
the Philippine one. The Philippine one is monstrous. I mean,
am I hearing right? Am I feeling right? The vibe. It looks like Quick got scared and he's in a horror movie.
Well, no, it's not. No.
Old lady chasing him with a tattooed needle. You'll come back.
I'm running if I say that. But no, this is the thing. I actually have a high pain threshold. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, because I have 2 tattoos so far, and they are right. This stuff is addicting, because if I had it my way, I'd have like a sleeve by now. But I didn't get my first tattoo till I was about 27. Reason being is because I wanted to make sure whatever I got, I was gonna be content with and happy with, so on and so forth. Because I could have been had a tattoo. But I also had friends who, as soon as they were 16, 18, they went and got a tattoo just so they could get them, and now they regret the tattoo they got when they were 16. So I just wanted to make sure. My first tattoo was matter of fact, this is my logo on my arm here. I don't know if you can see it. Hold on. So this is like my logo. It's a K, KQ, K Quick. That's my first one. And on my leg, I have a matter of fact, my boy Explode, who I told y'all about earlier, he actually drew a tribal drawing of my face that has a whole bunch of music, that has a whole bunch of symbols that kind of represent me. Like my eye has music notes in it. There's like a cross on my forehead. It's like my logo. My logo is actually like everything. To me, I felt like I needed to get that as a tattoo because it represented where I came from, where I am, and where I'm going. And I got it on my, and this is how strategic I am, because I got it on my leg, because when I walk, that represents where I'm going. That's the path I'm walking. So I really put a lot of thought into everything, including the placement of the tattoo. You know what I mean? So which is why I'm glad I waited to get mine, because now when I get these pieces and when I get them in the future, I actually put so much thought into them. I can't help but be proud of them.
Okay. No, great.
Yeah.
Like, let's say, how would you recommend? Like, you know how there's a lot of, like, when you do videos and stuff, you get, like, sometimes you get hit with copyrights and stuff, right? So if we wanted to make our own, let's say, music intro for the podcast, right? Basically, how can we work through that? Like,
I would say get with a producer and have him and just like have him make you something original. Like, yeah, it may take a little It really, for real, depending on who it is. Because granted, you can probably just build a rapport. It may just take investing, but at the same time, whatever he makes for you, that's something that you all own. Nobody else can use. You can use it however you'd like, so on and so forth. Or you can, even if like me, like for instance, even if you guys and I were to work out something and y'all wanted me to make an intro for your song, we can, like granted, we can do that business. I can make an intro for your song. Boom, that's y'all song. Y'all can use however you like, you know. So as far as the safest way to avoid that is to get you be the one that can issue the copyright claim. You feel what I mean? So get something that belongs to you all. It's basically about ownership. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because lately I've been getting tired with YouTube. Like every time we put it, like sometimes we go up and we put it on, like we put our video and suddenly we're looking at like copyright violation.
Oh yeah, they own it.
Yeah. And sometimes we're even using the thing is sometimes we use even the YouTube music. And but it's your music. You put it out there.
You said we could use it.
Right? And for real, you would think, because even as an artist, I find it, even as an artist myself, I find it funny that they haven't found a way that if music is being used in videos or being played in a video, that they can just find a way to monetize and sync that up, you know, so the artist and so the owner of the music can get their, you know, performance rights and so on and so forth and monetize off that. But I guess they're not that far ahead in the technology or the royalty collections yet. But so until they are, you get a flag, you get a flag, and you get a flag too. So
yeah, every time
I'll flag your mama, your grandpa, your dog, your cat.
Every time we go to review a podcast to change the description or whatnot, I'm like you were describing. It's like watching an episode of Oprah. Everybody gets a flag. There's 20 of them, and you know our Christmas special was littered with them, and we were using their music, and we're like, yeah, the hell with it, just leave
it. Yeah, and it's not just y'all. It's been hitting a whole bunch of YouTubers. If we keep it to YouTube, there's been YouTubers who make rant videos talking about how because of YouTube's new terms and conditions and restrictions and so on and so forth, they have popular videos of theirs from 5, 6, 7 years ago that are getting flags because of these types of restrictions. So literally videos that they've been monetizing off of for 5, 6 or however long, they're now becoming demonetized, all because of these new restrictions on copyrights and ownership claims and so on and so forth. So literally everybody on YouTube has been taking a hit because of that. Really.
I have a question on that. Is it is there a certain amount of time of a clip, like the length of a clip of an audio clip, that you can use before it's considered in the copyright
I think it
flaggable
is.
terms?
I think it is. Now, granted, I haven't personally tried to hack myself, but literally, I think I've seen people. Actually, no. I'm lying. I did a vlog. I didn't monetize it, of course, but there was a vlog. There was a vlog I did when I went down to Myrtle Beach for Bike Week. You know, because I had a big. They had booked me to do this huge performance on the strip and so on and so forth. And the hotel I stayed in had a club in it. So me, my fiance went to the club and I filmed a little bit of us like partying and so on and so forth. And there was a Bruno Mars song playing in the background. Now it was only like literally at most 5 seconds of the song. At most. So at first, when I first uploaded the video, it noticed the song and then it put like the copyright claim at the bottom, and then all of a sudden it disappeared. So and I don't think it's there anymore. I gotta check and see if it is still there. But I think there is a cutoff time to where you can possibly slip through the cracks. But it's kind of touch and go. You gotta it's you kind of got, I guess, if it's you, I guess you kind of got to get lucky. So I don't know for sure because I haven't purposely tried to do it, but based off of what I've seen, I still see videos where they use other artists songs or songs from movies and so on and so forth, but it's only in there for a certain amount of time, like literally a few seconds. So I think there is I think there is a loophole. So yeah, so I'd say it just takes a little research, it just
Yeah,
takes a little
yeah.
research.
In
Because like
today's
if you think
age,
about it, like sorry to cut you off there.
no.
But like on Instagram, they allow you to use other people's music on there, like on
Mhm.
storylines or on reels, up to like a minute. And there used to be issues on Instagram where they would tell you like, "Oh, this isn't your music," and then
Right.
delete your post. I don't know if you remember that, but they
I
don't do
remember.
that anymore.
Well, yeah, because now with music distribution, they distribute music to Instagram and to TikTok and all these different platforms. It's part of distribution. So if you're an artist, if you distribute, if you release your music and your distribution company puts your song on Spotify, they put it on iTunes, they also distribute that music to Instagram. Now that they have like a TikTok type of lane or in
Yeah,
so now they have licensing deals and so on and so forth. They license these songs. Like you can search my music on Instagram and TikTok and so on and so forth because my distribution distributes those songs to those platforms. So now I've taken a video from TikTok where it had music playing and I've uploaded it to Instagram. Now, granted, I didn't initially pull the music from Instagram; it came from TikTok. But Instagram, after a while, will actually pick up what song it is and acknowledge what song it is, and then you'll get a notification because this happened to me. You'll get a notification. Matter of fact, the song was actually the song "Locked Up" by Akon. I got a notification saying the audio in your reel was placed in the category for Akon Locked Up and so on and so forth. So it will eventually pick up and notice what song you're using and place it in that category for where that song is being used. And so now
got you,
if you play that video at the bottom, you'll see the title of the song, the
Mhm.
artist, and all that good stuff. So literally, that's becoming less of an issue now that music is just being distributed to these platforms and so
Yeah,
on.
I
Okay.
think TikTok kind of changed that, right? Because
Yeah, it
there'll
changed.
be artists that are like independent artists. They don't really have a name. They drop a track and it blows up, and they're getting 100,000 views or streams on Spotify
Yeah,
and creating a career out of that power. So now they're like, okay, how
right.
can we use this as well
Mhm.
as distributors? So it's
Right.
crazy how everything's changing.
Yeah, and it's and everybody. And granted, I love TikTok. I'm on, and granted, this is how I met my man Maverick over here, like through TikTok and so on and so
Mhm.
forth. And because granted, I fancy myself. I feel like I'm a humorous guy, if I do say so, and I just use I use TikTok just to show off my goofiness because granted, that's just where I cut loose and so on and so forth. And at the same time, I also use that platform to promote my music and my artistry and so on and so forth. Hey, it's free promotion. So, and which is very beneficial. So I'm a firm believer in using all avenues, especially if you don't
Yeah.
gotta pay for them.
That's
So,
Yeah.
so
Agreed.
now remember one thing: you do not want to get a flag from TikTok saying the things you're using are harmful for the environment just because.
oh, bro, look, tell me why. So me, Maverick, and matter of fact, a friend of ours who was viewing. Her name is Jules. We were all on live. We're doing the live on TikTok, and Maverick over here pulled out a bag of chicken and started eating chicken, and then a notification came up on TikTok saying this video contains harmful substance, and it only showed up when he pulled that bag of chicken out. So I'm like,
I'll be with like
where's
this. Like, I had the chicken, and I'm like, okay, so I moved the bag, and you can hear like, and I pull out the little box. It's Publix chicken. Video has harmful. I'm like, what the hell? Chicken, bro. It's chicken.
Bruh, it was so hilarious because now every time he wants to take a bite of chicken, he ducks out the camera like this.
You gotta go like this.
I'm like,
No.
Y'all can't see it.
Like,
Y'all ain't flagging us today. I'm eating this chicken though.
What I was doing, I was just sitting in my car, and so every time I wanted to eat a piece of chicken, I'll turn off the light.
It was the funniest thing ever.
They'll let you smoke. They'll let you do some of these other things, but they won't let you eat a bag of.
They'll let you twerk.
Yeah, they'll let you twerk.
I'll be dang if you got 11 herbs and spices on camera.
Yeah, exactly.
That.
Right.
That was just hilarious. It was hilarious. But yes, TikTok has. But to your argument though, Elvis, TikTok has become the way to break records. To where it used to be. It used to be 20 years ago. The generation before me used to pitch their music to DJs, and they would get their records broken by having them spun in clubs and so on and so forth. TikTok is the wave to literally break a record inadvertently. People will create trends. Like matter of fact, the song I had that I told y'all about, that I had a dream about, New Kid. When I first released that song back in 2020, people there was a dance craze that was created to that, and it kind of became one of the more popular songs of mine. So literally,
nice.
These like, it's all about just utilizing your resources to the best of your ability. When you see like TikTok and what if you see that that's the wave, if you see that that's where new public figures and new stars are being broken, you might want to jump on the train while that joint is still chug-a-lugging, it's still boarding right now. So don't get left behind.
Just like they say, follow the money. You also got to follow the attention.
Facts.
Yep.
Like there's a dude who's popular on TikTok, and all he does is go around in his community giving people free haircuts.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
You see, you all have seen it. This is my point. Like literally, people can get on there and just do what they love doing, and build something off of it. Like Elvis can get on there. Elvis can get on there today, and just, I don't know, give out a free tattoo every other month, and he'll be known as the guy who gives out free tattoos. He'll be known for that.
And flagged for dangerous actions.
They'll flag you like
quick. And that actually did happen. Now that you bring that up, so I grabbed the coffee from Starbucks, and I was in the parking lot, and I made a video because I started having that creative genius stirring, and I was like, I want to try a technique on a hand, but it has to be a specific type of hand because hand skin varies varies a lot, especially from men to women. Because men don't moisturize as much as women do. So I made a video saying, "Hey, I want to do a tattoo on a hand, preferably a woman because they moisturize, and I'll do it for free." That video got like 100,000 views. I gained maybe like 8,000 followers. A lot of them went to my Instagram. My Instagram grew, and I did not even expect that. I thought I was gonna get a couple people interested from my area. I think I got like everybody in Southern California interested because it just went crazy. And I still get people hitting me up like, "Hey, are you still doing that hand tattoo? And I'm like, "Hey, I thank you for your interest, but I already did those tattoos. That was like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. But
and
yeah,
like, and that proves the entire point right there. And I get recognized for stuff I did on TikTok. I didn't think would blow. It's always the stuff you don't think is gonna be popular that blows up. And when you're actually trying to do something crazy,
you put effort, you use some editing.
Oh yeah, I just spent 8 hours editing this 30-second clip, and I ain't got no views. But I go out, but I set my camera up, and I set my camera up, walk in front of it, slip and fall on accident. 900,000 views overnight.
True. But like you guys are saying, like it is true, like how things have gone, from one point to another between TikTok, Instagram, and all that stuff. Because I started doing my hobby. And then I started doing inspirational videos, like inspirational moment or words of inspiration. Then suddenly I was like, you know what? Let me throw my first podcast out there, which was Tekken and Syndicate back in the day, back when, life was different. Then I got out of there and decided to make this one. And oh man, it was like, I'm like, Jesus, people are actually like looking forward to a lot of different ideas. Because this one, like the name says, it is what it is. So everything goes. We can start talking about something, and then we're talking about how Pinoy, he acts like, he's all big and bad, but he's smooshy and nice. He's like a teddy bear inside.
Tell them.
But it's the way we are. And me and Pinoy, we met in TikTok. I saw him one of his videos in TikTok. I wrote. And then he was doing a live. I got in there, and we started talking. We started connecting, and here we are.
Freaking married.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Yeah, it's a marriage. I got to deal with it. Like every time he's like right now, he's probably on his days. And I got to deal with it. Shit.
Yeah.
Need chocolate, honey.
Well, I'm also a firm believer in things happen because they're supposed to happen. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yes,
and like even if you just take this whole pandemic, even if you take this whole pandemic for instance, because granted, in some way, shape, or form, even if you didn't directly get affected by the virus, it hit you in some way. Like I've lost several people who were very close to me because of it. But one thing that I did notice is through those losses, I view life a whole lot different. I view death a lot differently now, for the better, for that matter. And off of the actual virus itself, if you notice, once this whole pandemic happened, it unlocked something in somebody and a lot of people's creativity. I've seen so many independent businesses pop up. I've seen so many people trying new things, and as so much as, and for real, TikTok owes everything it has to this pandemic because of this pandemic, TikTok blew up overnight because people were bored. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, and it's because that happened. There's a whole new lane that we can use to basically, get ourselves out there. So, like I said, all this happened because it was supposed to happen, So
Yeah,
So
I think there
Elvis,
was a huge, mental shift
Hmm.
because of that. Even though it was a terrible thing, a lot of people lost lives. A lot
Definitely.
of people lost their jobs. A lot of people lost their retirement. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it made people get out of their comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
You
yeah.
know, it's a
Definitely.
huge shift, a huge shift. So, got to take the good with the bad. We got to move forward either way.
Yes,
So I
sir.
got a question for you. Elvis. What's been the most expensive tattoo, and like in size, has it been big or has it been one really small that has been like crazy?
That I have that I've gotten.
That you done?
That you've
So
got.
the top of my head, so this one right here took about 6 hours, and I paid about $2,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, did you sit through the whole 6 hours, or was the session broken up?
No, I sat through the whole 6 hours. We were supposed to do the side of my head as well,
Mm.
but I was getting a headache by the time we were finishing this one up, and I was already getting irritated and frustrated. And sometimes the position that you're sitting in is more uncomfortable than the actual tattoo. And by
Mm.
that time, I was like, "Hey, man, I don't even want to start the side of my head because I'm not gonna finish it. I'm already like getting ready just to give up. I just want to be done." And he's like, "Yeah, okay, we'll just do the top, finish it up, and be good." But I was supposed to get more for the $2,000, but I ended up just capping it there, and I didn't want to tell him like, "Oh, give me a discount," because I didn't do the whole thing. Nah,
Right.
I took his day, so I'm gonna pay him for the day,
Right.
regardless if I tapped out or I gave up. You know,
Right.
so
So numbing
Definitely.
cream, or like what do you like? What's your take on the numbing cream?
I think numbing cream is good in certain tattoos, certain situations. If you're trying to do an entire sitting, I do not recommend doing it because one thing that people don't think about is if you use numbing cream in the beginning of the tattoo, by the time it wears off, your body didn't get a chance to produce adrenaline and endorphins. So when it wears off, the pain is way more severe than if you would have just let your body get accustomed to that pain.
Right.
So you're not able to last as long. I actually have a client in Massachusetts. She's an older lady. She's badass. I've tattooed her at least like 70 hours.
Wow.
Um, not in one session, but it's been like 10-hour sessions each time. She'd never started using numbing cream until like the last three sessions. And the last three sessions, they've only been like 5-hour sessions because the pain has gotten bad once it wears off. And
Mm.
and I noticed that a lot in other clients that do the same thing.
So now
For
you know.
smaller sessions, I definitely would recommend if you don't want to deal with it. A lot of people say like, "Oh, you got to earn the tattoo." Fuck that. I want to do a good job. If you can't sit still, use the numbing cream. You know. So, yeah.
Okay.
So, about the tattoo on your head, like, I can only imagine the healing process for that was very awkward. So
Yeah.
what struggles did you have just, trying to navigate around like the tenderness of, because
Yeah.
it's technically an open wound when you
Yeah.
actually
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So, there's this new healing thing that we do. There's this plastic wrap that has an adhesive on it, and it kind of goes against what we normally have been told as we're getting tattooed. Excuse me. We leave the wrap on for multiple days at a time. And what it does is it keeps the blood plasma from creating a scab. So it almost acts as a blister, as a second skin. It heals faster, it heals with more of the ink in, and it minimizes the amount of peeling. So I had that wrap on the top of my head. I got my tattoo done in Vegas. It was hot. There was blood, there was sweat, there was
Mhm.
ink and sweat and blood running down my face.
Can imagine.
And and beside that, once I took the wrap off, I'm sure you guys know if you have tattoos, you start getting itchy.
Mhm.
Well, my hair
Oh
started growing
yeah.
back as my hair was
Oh
growing
no!
back and the skin was drying out. It was like the worst itch ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
then
can
and
feel
then
it.
yeah,
Yeah, so was I. I got a whole hat
yeah,
on and I'm up here like
yeah,
Oh
You know,
man!
uh, I'm good with my black tattoo right here in my head right now.
Ooh.
yeah,
I
yeah,
can,
yeah.
you
You're
kind
lucky,
you
you're
kind
lucky,
of
bro. So the reason I got this tattoo was I wasn't gonna get my head tattooed until later on, until I got more of my body tattooed. But I started losing my hair when I turned 18. I joined the military, the Marine Corps, and I
hoorah.
think from wearing the Kevlar and the covers over, like hours at a time, it sped that up. So I have like this ring of no hair, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna get my head tattooed because I was constantly wearing hats, feeling super self conscious, and I still wear hats because now I'm afraid of scaring people. So but that was the reason I got it in the first place. But I do like it. I do think it's dope.
I got a quick question for you: Ferris or Pennant?
So, as far as where I went to boot camp, yeah, I went to MCRD San Diego.
Ooh,
Yeah, yeah, I had nice weather.
yeah, it's the best, the beach wise.
You were in the Puerto Rican Army. Shut up.
Hey, you were in the Filipino one, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I didn't do anything. I sat on my butt all day. I was in the Air Force. I sat in
You
air
see?
conditioning.
Nice.
You were throwing paper planes.
I was
One of my
fixing
best
the
friends
paper
was in the Air
planes.
Force. There you go.
You see what? While everybody else is doing push-ups and all of these motherfuckers are just sitting down on the bed, like
Five more. Keep going. Come on. More PT. Keep
Don't
going.
wake me up.
We were playing racquetball for PT.
You see that? Like racquetball, eating lobsters and all that shit, while everybody's just like,
Dang, we're eating.
What's the lunch?
Work smarter,
Shit.
not harder. Get the Marines to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as you don't mess with my crayons, we're good.
No promises.
This is my lunch.
My lunch, Rich.
It's pretty bad when the MREs. We got like what chicken and rice, lasagna, spaghetti, some hot sauce and what. My MREs didn't have the they had the old school heating packet. The first ones didn't have it. Then they introduced the old school heating packet. Now there's something different. I don't know. And then you go look at the guys next to you, the Marines. They're sitting on a plane and they got a pack of 4 crayons and a coloring book.
Hey,
The coloring book is a napkin to go here. I'm kidding. You're not kidding.
That's funny. That's funny.
That's our lunch. Like, it was good,
Oh man.
The times are different.
What was so Elvis? Was there a tattoo that somebody requested that you knew in your mind, like, yeah, she's gonna regret this one next week? Like, was there like a tattoo that's like, explain what was it?
So a lot of times I will actually talk people out of getting certain tattoos.
You're a real
because
one.
because at the end of the day, it's not about the money. I make a good living, but I don't need to take your money. If your tattoo idea I think is not a good idea, I'm gonna tell you like, hey, you need to rethink this, take a few days, or let's do something different because of this, right? But a buddy of mine, there's this girl that he tattooed. She was married to the guy, and no, she was married to the guy that she got a name tattoo, right? And we always say, don't do that, even if you're married. It's not a good idea. Well, she got like her whole torso, just his name in big letters, right? And I don't know where they are, if they're still together or whatever. But when I saw him doing that, I was like, bro, I pulled him aside. I was like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Why would you do that? And he's like, bro, I was talking her out of it. She's came back multiple times saying that she wants to do this. I've turned her away. She keeps coming back. I'm like, okay, finally did it. And I was like, all right, well, she came back. You told her, you gave her the recommendation. That's all you can do. But yeah, I think that's the craziest thing I've seen.
Yeah, I have a thing. I think I have a thing about getting significant others' names on you. Like, for real, I think it may be bad luck or whatever, because I've never seen a couple who did it last.
Hey,
yeah.
You got to remember, if you're gonna do a significant other, just make sure her name is Maria, and find somebody else that her name is Maria. That way, Maria, or then you put something like, oh, Ave Maria.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put like slashes, just lines, and I'll take
I
a
just
Sharpie
align.
right in
Oh, you're going to tally marks.
Nick.
Yeah, you're like,
Next.
okay, wait. This is my count mark.
No, like
two,
like
3,
Hangman.
4.
You know, it's
Oh,
that.
wow.
I'm sorry. What's your name, honey? Julie. Okay, J-U. There you go. And then come
Oh, wow.
Right.
in. Next.
Hilarious.
But you know,
Yep. Yep. I
it's
actually had
all
two friends of mine. They were dating sisters.
Mm.
One of them was gonna get one of the sisters' names tattooed on him, and the other one felt like he had to do it too because they were dating. They were twins, right? So they were all the same age, and of course they were asking me to do it, and I was like, "Don't fucking do it." And I was like, "Why don't we do this? Why don't we do it in white ink? Because then at least if you want to get it covered up, that'll be the easiest cover up ever." So we did the girls' names in white ink, and it didn't work out for them.
Don't tell me
It could have been bad luck. Yeah, they had to say
There
something.
we go. It didn't work out.
Yeah. So anybody listening, thinking about getting their significant other's name, do it in a very light colored ink if you
Or
really
ju-
want to do it. So that
Or
way
just
you
don't
at least,
do it.
or just don't do it.
Don't do it.
Because like here's advice: a smart compromise. Now I've seen couples get matching tattoos that they agreed upon. Like for instance, one thing that me and my fiance thought of doing is I was thinking about getting a tattoo that had the King of Hearts and she was going to get the Queen of Hearts. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's an idea. Or there was
Yin and yang.
that there's that can easily be covered up and made into something.
Or you just
like
complete the yang.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Put the other half
Yeah.
on there. Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
hey, it just like something symbolic. I would not. And so if you got a established tattoo artist who is saying it is not a good idea to get someone else, your significant other's name tattooed on you, I've heard. I know significant others who have been married for 20, 30 years who are tattooed out but will never get each other's names tattooed on
Yep.
If they're not your child, it shouldn't be on your body.
Exactly. If there's a way for them to leave you,
them.
Like right now, like
like my kids. Hey, you're my kid forever. That's why I got a portrait of me. Yeah.
like right now in
But,
2019. In 2019, my mom passed away, and they were like, "You're gonna get your mom's name a tattoo?" I'm like, "Oh hell no!" They're like, "Why?" I'm like, "I love my mother, but I cannot have either of the names on her." He goes like, "I cannot have Louisa, I cannot have Yvette." They're like, "Why?" Because they're a woman's name, and if I'm with some other woman, who's that? And why do you have that?
Yeah. They're.
And it's my mother. Are you sure that's
Who's
your
that?
mom's name?
So just tattoo
I don't
it right
believe
above
you.
it and say, "This is my mom's name," in case you're asking.
No, because
With a little thumbtack tattoo and a note.
There you go. Yeah.
But you
So
gotta
certain
remember,
certain tattoos come with a disclaimer, basically.
but you
Yeah.
still gotta remember, quick, and Pinoy and Elvis, you probably know this. Most Hispanic women are toxic.
I told
So, like-
I told
That's
you.
why you
I
gotta
don't
get
want-
variations.
That's why I said I won't date a Latino woman.
Hey,
Yeah.
you'll
Only
have
50%
fun.
Latina.
You'll have fun. You have
Yeah,
fun.
but the moment you go to sleep, if you forget to do the dishes,
Yeah.
you're done.
Hey.
That's it.
Or if you accidentally look at another woman.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Well, I have not dated. I have not dated a Spanish woman, so I wouldn't know. If anything, I'm getting information from.
Yeah,
from you
just
all.
right down the point. Just right
That's
down the
right.
point. You're like, okay, if you're walking down the street and you're with a Latina and oh, she dropped something and another girl's coming by, don't even go down and try to pick it up. Just don't look to any side. Just stay there. Wait for the shadow to pass by, and they're like,
And then
Like,
get up
look
and
straight. And do not blink.
or just get
Just
on
say a
your
little
knees,
prayer.
or just get on your knees and like, Holy Father in Heaven, forgive me for my sin.
Please don't let her
Yep,
smack
yep.
me when I get up.
Or the other way around, quick. You just go down and once you're passing by, you just throw the wallet. You're like,
Oh yeah. Oh shoot. No, let me get that.
No, see, you're supposed to take it and you're supposed to throw it in the direction you want her to run. So she
Yeah.
doesn't see you. She goes, hey,
There
honey,
you go.
honey, look.
Honey,
Go
look.
get it.
There's fresh hundreds.
But yeah, but you know, but it's always good, jokes and giggles, but but everything. I don't care, like every now and then, we all have our different type of trades. Tattoos wise, like if I'm gonna get tattoos, they have to have completely meaning for me, or I'm not getting them. Because a lot of my friends are like, "Oh, you should get the navy, the sailor's compass." And I'm like, "Do I look like a sailor? No. Well, you travel. Do I look like I need a compass?" So I'm like, "No." And that happened a lot, from a couple friends of mine that when we were active, they're like, "Oh,
Why you're not supposed to wear BDUs on an airplane, on a public transport? You technically should not be wearing BDUs or service blues, for
Yeah.
that matter, when traveling on public transportation.
Yep. You never know who's watching.
You'll be the first one to go.
Yep.
just
Because you're a
dress on-
threat to an operation.
Yeah, just put the uniforms of the pilot, and the cruise ship, welcome to the airplane."
Be a stewardess. Or what is it called?
Sir, I need a
The flight
Coca-Cola.
attendant. Yeah.
Yeah.
What I look like a steward? Oh, that's
My
right.
bad.
Diet.
1 second. Diet? Sprite? I got
That's funny. That's funny. But yeah, for going back to what you were talking about, Maverick. I don't believe a tattoo has to have meaning if you like the artwork. You know, I've come across artists that I've looked up to, that I've seen their work, and it just amazes me. And I'm like, man, I would love to have that somewhere right here. You know, and it's kind of like decorating your temple, right, with art. You don't necessarily have to have a specific meaning, like, oh, I got this painting because I feel this. It could just be like, man, that looks awesome. I'd like to hang that over my fireplace. You know, I do
That's a good way
have
to look at it, yeah.
meaningful tattoos, but I also just have artwork that I've hung up on my walls.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like right now, like one of my plans in the near future, I want to do like an arms, like basically a half a sleeve tattoo, and it's wolves and moon, like the wolf howling to the moon with the Puerto Rican flag. Like at first, I wanted the Puerto Rican flag like bleeding out of the moon, but then I was like, no, I will leave that for later. But I want something like that, and I want to put my favorite phrase, which is from the movie Gladiator, "What we do in life echoes through eternity."
Okay.
I want to put
That's
that.
tight.
So, and on the other hand, like I want to do, like here, I want to do like a tribal tattoo, but Puerto Rican wise, which I still got to find the symbols because we don't have that much
Ye-
history running around.
Yeah. I've actually so I'm Mexican, so I've actually tried to look for like Hispanic tribal patterns, and there is some out there, but not like tattoo wise. It's more like stuff you see on temples and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
unlike like Polynesian or even people from New Zealand, like Islanders, they have patterns specific for tattoos. So they've been doing it for years, and it looks amazing. But I haven't come across something like that for Mexico. Yeah, it'd be cool.
You good there, Brino? I see you thinking too much.
No.
I know I'm ugly, but but it's okay.
No, I just got this dangly that I really want to dig out my nose, but I don't want to do it on camera.
Fuck it.
Just turn off the light.
Just turn off the light.
Quick shaking his head, going, "Oh dear God!" What?
Just turn off the light.
Well, you can turn the camera off momentarily and take care of it.
So we don't get flagged. We don't get that flag. What you're doing is
Yeah.
harmful.
It's self-harm.
Self-harm, this is bad.
Yeah, I don't want YouTube to think it's chicken or anything like that.
What's he doing with that chicken finger?
Not the That's horrible.
But yeah, but I really, I do, and I know Kanoy feels the same way. I do appreciate you guys for joining us tonight. You know, it's been one of the hilarious moments of like in between like the topics and everything that we have had so far. That's the
Man.
last one that we had that I actually roasted like half of Hollywood. Going after all the movies that were made that we didn't need a remake and they should never touched it. That I roasted half of Hollywood actors, like one back to back, back to back, back to back to back. And this guy is like, bro, what the hell you drink? Slow it down.
This is the venting podcast.
Yeah.
Hey.
Keanu Reeves sent him a death threat or something, I think.
Yeah. Well, I got
Oh,
one from
damn. Hey.
Tom Cruise saying that I was
That's
not
my
allowed.
guy. That's my guy.
Yeah, you know, Tom Cruise said I wasn't allowed to be on, Top Gun just because of that.
Lord.
They kicked you off the set. They're like, get rid of this guy.
Yeah, he was like, I got to change my code name.
It's funny.
But
But hey, so talking about, I know we were talking about this a few minutes ago or a little while ago, but how everything is meant, there's a purpose or everything's is for a reason, I've actually I feel like this whole situation is manifested, and I know Quick, you were saying that you're out of Maryland, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to be in Maryland in June. I'm going to be doing a tattoo guest spot in Damascus. So I feel like maybe that's us. That's it. Saying let's
bro.
let's grab a beer. Let's grab a beer.
Let's do it. And plus, bro, if you're gonna be in the area and also in October, like some good friends of mine who actually do my tattoos, who run the shop Hypnotic Ink, they actually host the Southern Maryland Tattoo Expo every year, and they actually having it
Oh,
this year.
nice.
This year in October, I want to say it's going to be a 3-day event starting on the 13th through the 15th. So,
Okay.
bro, I'm gonna have to plug you in with them, man. You might have to.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at
That would be dope. That would be dope. Yeah, because I actually plan on going to Maryland more frequently. Yeah, because I have other business ventures that I'm going there for, not just for tattooing, but yeah, man, I feel like this is the universe kind of nudging us in a certain direction,
There you go.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
thank you,
sir.
thanks everybody. Thank you guys.
I really did enjoy
Yeah.
myself. I enjoyed the dialogue. I enjoyed chopping it up with you, wonderful fellas, man. Y'all definitely brought a lot of enlightenment to my Friday. So I really do appreciate
Yeah,
you all for bringing
yeah.
me.
it is quick. So like I don't know, but you and me are gonna talk later on
Yes,
about
sir.
getting the soundtrack for the podcast itself, or
Let's do it.
opening
Let's
and
do
closing.
it.
We can do that, and we have
Yeah,
no
I'm gonna
more,
need some help too with that, bro. Because I make content as well, so I definitely need some music. So
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
let's do it. Let's do business, yo.
we
Let's
can
do
do
it.
something, something like
the
that.
universe working its magic,
Look at that.
But, like you were saying too, there was a lot of enlightening topics and conversation, especially like the similarities between producing music and creating tattoos. There's a lot of similarities, as far as the thought process and how you apply it. So it's very interesting. So I definitely am going to share this podcast with other artists so that way they can check it out.
Likewise.
But
Likewise.
yeah, thank you guys.
So-
Appreciate it.
Much love to it is what it is.
It is what it is. That's right.
So we'll continue like always. We always continue. I was like, man, okay, we're not gonna have any podcasts on the 29th, the 4th. It's coming soon. That 7th is that Friday. The 4th of May. Then I'm like, wait, we got a podcast on the 29th. Damn, I'm not gonna do Star Wars week, but it's good. It's okay. Then I had a friend of mine going like, you doing a Mother's Day special? Hang up.
Oh, it's Mother's Day.
Hang up,
It's
bro.
Mother's Day, right?
Yeah, I gotta go spend
Yeah,
more
forgot.
money tomorrow.
Yeah. Gotta get ready. Not on the way to mom's house. Like, let me swing by the grocery store real quick.
Like, I gotta go. Like on the way there, I'm about to stop saying that. So,
Why does this rose smell like gasoline and incense?
Why doesn't it? Wait,
Those are
It's a new breed.
Yeah.
Why
She
does
don't
it
got
feel
no.
plastic? Why does it feel a little bit plastic?
It lasts longer.
It lasts longer.
It's reusable.
It's one of
funny.
those like for everlasting, type of stuff. So like last year I did it wasn't a Mother's Day, but it was basically my birthday. I did from our hobby. I built a specific model and dedicated towards mothers and everybody that passed away, during the years, first responders, because you know how COVID had hit us. Like that year was like one of the strongest years that it hit. So I was like, this piece is dedicated to my mother, but also for everybody that has lost an angel or has somebody in heaven that is watching over them. This is an angel, so here we go. And everybody was like, whoa, I like the things you do, like what you did, stuff. I'm like, it's just a hobby, we do. It's not like I created it from scratch. I just bought it from a box and built it, but we customize it and do the best we can. And and plus this podcast is a way of saying thank you to everybody that follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, here on YouTube. So, just to say thank you to everybody and just give back to the community a little bit of what we get. So,
Yep.
Yes, sir.
There you go. There you go.
appreciate you guys for being here, Pinoy. I know you don't like me here, so but you got to deal with me every day. It's good, it's good. It's good. I still have much love for you, everybody. Thank you guys. So, anything you guys like? Quick, do you have any special project going on that you?
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like just be on the lookout for. I got a new single dropping next month, called "Go Off," featuring Jesse Jane and Idea Michelle. Make sure y'all look out for that. Look out for the project of me and D Explode, K Quick and D Explode, People of the World, dropping in June. Like I said, the horror film is called Water, by the way. Be on the lookout for that this year. Got a whole bunch of good stuff going on, especially for my label, Beats, Bars, and Faith. We have a compilation project we're actually working on as well. So it's going to be a very, very jam-packed year. We got a lot for y'all. So much love. Follow me at The Real K Quick on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Website is IamKquick.com. That's IamK-QUICK.com. Shouts out to It Is What It Is for having a brother on. I appreciate you, fellas.
Thank you. For everybody out there, keep looking out for our friend here, Elvis. I am Elvis Tattoos, Instagram, TikTok, and watch his content. Find him out. If you're in the Southern California area, look this man up.
Yeah. So I'll actually be so just so I can do my little plug too. I'm actually going to be in Anchorage, Alaska, towards the end of May, and then I'm going to be going to Maryland. Yeah, Alaska. I love Alaska, man. It's beautiful there. I like it. Maryland, I'll be there June, and then North Carolina as well in June. And I'm doing a tattoo giveaway right now. If you are interested, go check out the TikTok at I Am Elvis Tattoo. And then another thing is we're actually going to be building, we already have one already, but we're going to be building another mobile tattoo studio to hopefully take across the country and tattoo in different areas. It's a big project. It's going to take a while, but that's something that we're going to be working on. It's going to look like a tour bus, like a coach bus. So,
that's dope.
But besides that, check out my work on Instagram. Same as TikTok. I Am Elvis Tattoo. And if you are interested, the link in my bio will walk you through how to get in contact with me. And thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it. It's I really like seeing podcasts and being a part of podcasts and hearing and listening to other people's perspectives and being able to unite and create something entertaining for people, especially during hard times.
Yeah,
Definitely.
If you use discount code Pinoy20, he'll charge you an extra 20%. So just keep that in mind.
And if you also if you use code Maverick, you get 100% more. So I don't recommend using Maverick that much, but if you do, it's on your own risk. But thank you guys. Thank you all for joining, Pinoy. It's always a pleasure being with you here. And like I say, you know, what we do in life echoes through eternity. Keep that in mind, people. Keep building, keep doing art, keep doing music, stay humble, and hey, let's spread a little bit more love to this world that we need it a little bit more.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you
More
guys
than
for
ever.
joining, and we'll see you next time. This is
But
Maverick Wolf. It is what it is podcast.
Yeah.
Stay safe.
Yeah.
Thanks, Maverick.